Hello guys, I'm back. You know, about a week ago I was at the pub with my friends drinking heavily and I almost ended up in a bar fight, and in this video I will explain why. After about 2 hours of drinking and talking and having fun, I found myself at the bar ordering what was probably our 11th round of beers. And during the long wait I overheard a rather intriguing conversation that took place right next to me. The part I unfortunately caught went something like this: "Yeah bro, fuck the science-based lifters, they are so gay, ha ha ha. Now they're doing this thing called full range of motion and deep stretch, haha, so gay, haha. Look at us, we just lift some heavy fucking weights and we are stronger than these bitches. They call us ego lifters because they can't lift as much as we do, ha ha ha. I could beat the living fuck out of every single one of them." Since I actually know a thing or two about lifting and I coach people, I couldn't help but turn to my right and witness the following scene. There were two guys at the bar, both with buzz cuts, wearing white t-shirts 3 sizes too small, red-faced, and I kid you not, probably around 5 feet tall, and needless to say, no girls around them. And so I said the following: "You know, you two would be way bigger and stronger if you didn't ego lift and incorporated a bit of science into your workouts. And do you know that ego lifting is actually for gays?" I admit I used a different term which every Slav would recognize. And so the conversation started, and I began my explanation/theory. Every lifter or gym rat works out for one of 3 reasons: either to get bigger and have more muscle, which is training for hypertrophy, to get stronger, which is powerlifting, or just to maintain muscle mass, joint health and bone health. Maybe about 5% of gym goers fall into this last category. Now, why do you want to get bigger or stronger? Usually there are deeper reasons behind it. You know, the roots of those desires. Here is my theory, which I think is pretty close to the truth. Around 20% of gym goers lift because they genuinely love the sport. These are usually the lifters with years of experience who are constantly educating themselves and improving their knowledge about lifting. The other 80% lift simply to improve their physical appearance and become more attractive to the opposite sex. All those teenage Sigma hustlers who post their winter arc reels and keep yelling that they definitely don't lift for hoes, secretly wish to have their faces buried between some big until they can no longer breathe while being cuddled and kissed on the forehead. So here's the undeniable truth: everyone who keeps saying that they definitely don't lift because of girls is absolutely lifting because of girls. And when I said that in the bar, the faces of those 2 goblins turned from red to purple. And so my drunk ass went on to explain ego lifting. Now, if you're in that 20% who genuinely love the sport, whether it's hypertrophy training or powerlifting, and have experience and knowledge, you already know everything there is to know about ego lifting, so I won't go any further here. But on the other side, those 80% of teenage gym rats who live to become more attractive/aesthetic, and we all know why, let me enlighten you with a few facts. The vast majority of girls, that is 95% of them, don't give a flying fuck about how much weight can you lift. They care more about how you look. And in 95% of cases, the ideal look is a lean, muscular build, what's known as being aesthetic. So how do you build an aesthetic body? I've already made some videos about this, explaining it in detail, but the short answer is by maximizing muscle hypertrophy. This means training with very good form, using slow eccentrics, achieving a deep stretch at the end of the movements, and developing a solid mind and muscle connection. And what is the exact opposite of all those things? Ego lifting. All it does is keep you far away from your goals. Even if you're lucky enough not to be injury prone, because many people are and end up injured due to ego lifting, at best you're just spinning your wheels in the mud. And if you're 5 feet tall with naturally bulky frame and stronger than most people, even though you ego lift, you would be even bigger and even stronger if you didn't. Now let's briefly talk about the remaining 5%, the power lifters and their physiques. Does ego lifting have a place here? No. If you're serious about powerlifting, the answer is no. Yes, there are differences like lower rep ranges, heavier weights, etc., but this still isn't ego lifting. If powerlifting is your passion, you know that, and the ladies who are into powerlifting also know that. And here's checkmate on both fronts. At this point, the waitress had already poured my round of beers, so I could have just taken them and ended the conversation with the Cro-Magnons, who are now getting angry and aggressive. So I politely said, look, I hope you understand what I said, and there is really no need to shit on people who train correctly or follow more science-based approaches without ego lifting. I had already turned away when I heard one of the guys behind me say, haha, nerd bitch, and start verbally abusing the female members of my family. At that exact moment, I had an epiphany. Maybe it was the 10 beers that unlocked some ancient wisdom inside my brain. I turned back, put the beers down on the bar, and with a surprised expression said, oh my god, it all makes sense now. Who actually cares about how much you ego lift? Other meatheads. Who actually enjoys watching you slowly break your spine while trying to squat 100 pounds more than you can physically handle? Other meatheads. So who are you trying to impress at the end of the day? Other meatheads. And since you enjoyed so much, I'm pretty sure you also enjoy having a Olympic bar shoved deep inside your while your 5-foot friend slowly plays on your 3-inch skin flute. So what happened next? While I was delivering my monologue, 2 of my friends came over because they realized what was cooking up. Thank God, because I was alone. And after about 3 seconds of fortunately just pushing and yelling, 3 100-kilo security guards threw us out and made us go separate ways. The round of beers remained untouched on the bar, but what also remained untouched was my intellectual integrity. You can send this video to Mike Israetel or Jeff Nippert because they owe me that round of beers. So yeah, guys and girls, please don't ego lift. You will make very little progress and probably end up injured. And of course, it's also super gay. See you soon.